Hey, everybody. Hope you are doing well and having a good evening and getting ready for a fabulous weekend. So happy that I am here with you on If You Don't Like That. We talk 49ers, we talk Kings, we talk the NBA, the NFL schedule coming up this week. Your messages, always welcome. Your phone calls, always welcome right here on If You Don't Like That. All right, here's your link. If you want to call the show, I'll put you right on. Hit that link. You got the QR code above my shoulder. Either or will get the job done. And more than happy to chat with you. What do you want to talk about tonight? What do you want to talk about? You want to start with the 49ers and Campbell and his actions last night, refusing to go into the game and then walking off the field? Can you imagine? Seriously, can you imagine being a professional athlete playing in the National Football League, the NFL, the NBA, and whatever, and you refuse to go into the game and then walk off the field? That's unbelievable, isn't it? It really is. Absolutely incredible. I love getting messages like this. Grant, I checked out Bennett's, and that place is phenomenal. Do you recommend any other restaurants in the area? I don't frequent too many other restaurants in the area anymore, but I'm going to take a photo of this to send Brian. But there are a lot of great restaurants in the area. And by area, I don't know if you mean Sacramento, Roseville, or the West Side Grill in Rockland. But thank you very much for that. Appreciate that. And I know Brian appreciates it as well. Grant, with the Kings having a bad bench, how much will attrition affect the starters come late in the season? If it keeps up the way it is now, I think it will have a factor, and I think you'll see more injuries. So I do think that it will take its toll if the bench does not come around, if Monty McNair can't make a move, or something unforeseen happening. It's a good question. It's a good question. You know, I look at other teams in the NBA right now, and I'll get to the NBA and the Kings in a moment, but I did want to finish my thought on Campbell and the 49ers last night, and then we'll get to the NBA. That's incredible to me that a player doesn't go on to the field and then walks off the field. And I thought it was great that his teammates called him out after the game and showed no mercy, nor should they. So I thought that was really good. It's incredible. And as far as the 49ers, I said this back in August. And before the season started, I did a season preview on my podcast. And I said I thought the Niners were going to have a lot of problems this year. I said I didn't think they were going to be winning the division. I thought that they would be disappointing. And I thought the reason for that was training camp was disjointed. Brandon Ayuk, Trent Williams holding out, McCaffrey's injury. And I just didn't have a good feeling about this year. And I picked the Rams to win the division. I don't know if they're going to win the division, but they're certainly coming on strong at the end of the year. But it has been a lost season for San Francisco. It's been a lost season for San Francisco. You were in the Super Bowl last year, and you're not going to the playoffs. Just really, really unfortunate. All right, now to the NBA and what's going on with injuries. So Kevin Durant is back. The Suns are currently playing in Salt Lake City, and with 9.5 left in the third, the Suns lead 87-78. The Timberwolves already beat the Lakers in Minneapolis. No LeBron James, 97-87. The Grizzlies win again. They put 135 on the board. They beat the Nets 135-119. Spurs are in Portland. They lead by 7, 3 minutes left to go in the first half. All right? And the Nuggets lead the Clippers 89-71. I love talking about this because every single game is so important. So the Lakers now, with that loss, drop to 10th. Okay? If the Suns beat Utah, they'll go to 13-11 and join Minnesota, who is now 13-11. Denver, if they win, will go to 13-10, and the Clippers would go to 14-12 if those scores remain the same. All right. So here's a good question. Did anything like what happened with the Niners player happen with a player on the Kings, like refused to go in or listen to the coach? Yes, that has happened in the past, believe it or not. Grant, what's your thoughts on the NBA Cup? Is this just a gimmick, or is it good for the younger teams to experience big games? I hate the NBA Cup. I think it's a joke. I think the courts are disgraceful. I think it is a gimmick, and I'm not a fan of it. I don't think the most of the NBA fans are either. It doesn't do anything for me. Doesn't do anything for me. Nothing. You know, the Lakers won the NBA Cup last year, right? How did that work out for them? Not a fan of it. You know, I'm just not. I am not a fan of it at all. I very rarely watch any of those games. We do appreciate the comment from Preston and Bennett's, the West Side Grill in Rockland. Awesome. Their newest of the 3 locations, Roseville and Sacramento. Prime Seafood and Steak. Don't forget about the weekend brunch tomorrow and Sunday. You go to bennettsrestaurants.com. You can make a reservation and more. Prime Seafood and Steak at Bennett's. Again, the weekend brunch is outstanding. Check it out tomorrow or Sunday. That's Bennett's. Bennett's is awesome. And always appreciate the great feedback here on If You Don't Like That. Pro sports it's played by human beings, right? And everyone's got issues, and you can make all the money in the world, but if you've got personal issues or you have things that are not going well, if you're drinking too much, whatever the case may be, people have problems. But you don't very rarely see a player refuse to go into the game in the third quarter and then walk off the field. Right? How often do you see that? How often do you see that? Not very often. And that's a good thing. The issue that I have with the Kadarius Tonys of the world and players that are malcontents, there always seems to be another team out there that is stupid enough to give these individuals another chance. And I'm not like that at all. I think in professional sports, and I'm keeping it to professional sports since that's what I talk about primarily. I'm not talking about business. I'm not talking about, entrepreneurship. I'm talking about pro sports. Depending on the magnitude of the mistake, I'm okay with a second chance. Okay? I'm not okay with third chances, fourth chances, fifth chances, sixth chance. I'm not a fan of that. I'm just not. Never have been. It's called professional sports for a reason. And the National Football League is in its 100th year, and you're dealing with that in 2024 with a player making that kind of revenue, having that kind of life, and you basically give up your career. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? It's pretty amazing. All right, the Jazz have made it a game. It's now 99-95 with 5 minutes left to go in the third, and the Nuggets are up 22 on the Clips in Denver. Now, I told you Durant is playing, but he's not playing. Says he's playing. The box score is not working here, but it is 99-95. Latrell Sprewell come to mind? Yes, that's a good one. Peter, thank you. Grant, another question. Are you actively looking for play-by-play work? Is there a level of pro sport you wouldn't take? Like, for example, a AAA baseball team or a minor league hockey team? I would not do baseball because I don't think I would be very good at it. It doesn't fit my personality. I think I could do it. I don't think I'd be good enough to make a career out of it. Would I take a minor league hockey job? It depends where it was and if there would be a path to the NHL with that team. Hockey is my favorite sport to announce. I love it. I did college hockey for 6 years, Division I, big time college hockey, the best in the country. I was blessed to do the Sharks for some games on TV with Pete Stemkowski. I love hockey. Right now, what I'm waiting for, would I take another play-by-play job, David? I'm waiting to see what happens with my ongoing lawsuit. And once the ongoing lawsuit is completed, then I'll figure out what I want to do with my life. I'm not necessarily closing any doors, but it would have to be an attractive, not financially necessarily. I mean, that's always important, but it would have to be something that I would get excited to do when I wake up in the morning. So if the answer to that was yes, I'm excited to do this, then absolutely. But I've got to be able to answer that question. Would I wake up in the morning and be excited to go to work later that evening for the game? And if the answer to that question is yes, then I would pursue it. If the answer to that question is no, then I would not. I'm at a point in my life where I don't want to wake up unhappy. I don't want to wake up thinking I've got to do something I don't want to do. And I really like this format here. I was very skeptical about this format. When I mean format, I'm talking about getting into the podcast and doing interviews and live shows. And I wasn't really sure how I would enjoy it, but I do enjoy it. I enjoy it for a couple of reasons. Number one, I've always said this. I love staying in touch with my audience. Like, that's the fabric of who I am, are the people that have followed me over the years. I mean, we talked with each other for 26 years, every afternoon, okay, on radio. We bonded with, whether you like me or not, we still bonded with the Kings, fans at events, before the games, after the games. That's a really important part of who I am. And this allows me to still interact with you. And I love it. And we don't always get along. We don't always agree. But that doesn't mean I hate you, or I don't think that way. It's just like your opinion is stupid. I'm sorry. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes my opinion's stupid. But the point is, we get through it, right? We get through the bad stretches of a team, the good stretches. But I wasn't sure how I would enjoy doing this. I like making my own hours. I like the fact that if I want to take a day off, or if I'm traveling somewhere, I don't have to worry about it. I just say I'm not working today. I'm blessed to have my sponsors who have been so loyal to me. Like, loyalty to me is the most important aspect of any personality trait. Loyalty is where it's all about. Like Scott Pollard, he's the most loyal human being you could ever meet. Scott is the definition of loyalty. Scott's one of my best friends. People ask me, what trait do I like the most about Scott? He's loyal. Like, to me, there's no substitute for that. And when I went through my situation 4 years ago, I found out the people in my life who were loyal, and I found out the people in my life who I thought were loyal and were not. So I talk about loyalty with you. Like, I feel loyal to my audience that has followed me for decades, right? I'm still healthy, knock on wood. I'm still enjoying doing formats like this. You've been with me every step of the way since I moved to Sacramento. I feel a bond with you, right? I don't want to break that bond. So I like what I'm doing now. And I have very loyal sponsors. I have loyal people that, are nice enough to do the super chat and put money in our pockets to continue with good-looking streams and graphics. And that's important to me because it keeps me going. And I'm not begging for money. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm just saying that when I get the super chat donations, and I'm speaking for Ryan, it's greatly appreciated. It's not like, oh, big no. We appreciate it. So again, thank you very much. Sacramento fan here. I'll never forget growing up listening to Grant on the radio with my dad. Some of my best memories as a kid. See, right there is what I'm talking about. Right there is exactly what I'm talking about. That's why I'm doing this, for people like you. Okay? That means the world to me. Thank you very much. As a Niner fan and Kings fan, we are truly lucky to have you and Ryan in our lives. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Well, we're lucky that you follow us, and we're lucky that you spend your time and getting us more viewers, right? I know Grant isn't interested, but is anybody getting Chris Webber's book that came out in October? Only one review on Amazon, also available in the King store. Yeah, I'm not getting it because I know Chris personally, and I know Chris better than 99.9% of the people that are watching this right now. And Chris is full of shit. So that's why I'm not getting his book. He's a habitual liar. He's only about Chris. He doesn't give a damn about anybody else. And I say that because I know. And Chris can be the most loving, makes you feel like you're the most important part in the world person. And he looks you in the eyes when he tells you these things. And as soon as you turn your back, you got a big knife in your back. That's Chris. All right? That's Chris. I wouldn't read the book because I wouldn't believe anything that's in the book. Because how do I believe an adult who has lied his whole life, both in a grand jury, committing perjury, and many other instances where he has lied? And it's been well documented that he's lied. I told you the story about the 30 for 30 on the Fab Five that my good friend Jason Hare directed. And he told me the same thing. Told me the exact same thing. How full of shit Chris is and what a liar he was. And I'm like, yeah, you think? He actually came on my radio show one day and said that on my show. We talked about it. And he went through the entire set of events in directing the Fab Five and how Chris kept on lying to him and lying to other people that he wasn't contacted to be on the documentary. And Jason's got emails, messages. He's got, I mean, it's a joke. It's a joke. So double or doubt there's any real accountability in the book. It doesn't matter if there's accountability or not in the book, because I wouldn't believe what he would say anyway. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Love you, Grant. Go Kings, brother. Always here for you, Dorian. You're the best, Dorian. Appreciate you, buddy. I hope you're doing well, Dorian. And I hope you have a fabulous, fabulous holiday. Chris didn't write that book. Well, I don't know. You know, I don't know. All I know is I know Chris very well, very well. And what you see with Chris is not the real Chris. That's all I'm going to say. You know, when he goes to the games and he gets a standing ovation and acts like he loves the fans, and I genuinely think he does love Sacramento and love the fans. That part I do believe. Matter of fact, I know that's true. But the rest of it is just complete BS. It's BS. All right. Don't forget about New Works Plumbing. They've got a fix for you. They're available around the clock 24/7. Go to sackserviceplumbing.com or call the number on your screen. There it is. New Works Plumbing. Again, they're available whenever you need them. They're awesome. Appreciate all the positive feedback that I've received from the folks that have used New Works Plumbing. Appreciate that. They appreciate it. Just go to sackserviceplumbing.com. That's sackserviceplumbing.com. So, you know, I talk about loyalty, obviously honesty. Boy, how about this? Channel 31 got me through some hard times watching the Kings. You remember Anthony Bonner? Sure. I loved AB. Loved AB. St. Louis native. Love AB. Great guy. Really enjoyed being around him. He had a very vibrant personality. Loved AB. Yeah, those were the days on Channel 31, huh? Man. What is my opinion on the A's in Sacramento? I think for the short term, it's great for Sacramento. I think it's great. Why not? You have Major League Baseball in Sacramento until they leave. Why not? So I think it's great for Sacramento. They weren't going to stay in Oakland. It's not like the Kings, or excuse me, it's not like the Kings owners stole the team and Sacramento didn't steal the team. They were done. They were approved by Major League Baseball. They were done. They were gone. They didn't steal them. They're just renting them for a while. So I don't really see any downside to it. You want to go see Major League Baseball, now it's in your backyard. I don't know how you're going to afford the tickets based on what I'm seeing on the secondary market, but that's not going to be my problem because I'm not going. You know, I very rarely watch baseball anymore. It is so boring to me, and I hate the way the game is played. I hate the specialization. The ball's not in play enough. Runners don't move 90 feet. I mean, the sacrifices left the game for the most part. I'm just not a fan of it. Like, it doesn't appeal to me anymore. I used to watch baseball all the time. I don't really watch it that much, or rarely. I didn't even watch the whole World Series with the Yankees in it. Now think about that. So, yeah. But I think it's good for Sacramento. I do think it's good for Sacramento, and I hope that people that want to be able to go and watch a game or are able to get a ticket and do so for a fairly reasonable price. Yeah. Hey, don't forget on the Kings post-game shows and other times as well, we always enjoy doing a rant with Grant. And the thing I like is that I rely on you many times to give me the suggestions. All right. And a rant with Grant is brought to you by EDH Motors Automotive Reimagined. You go to edhmotors.com, you'll get all the information you need. And if you're looking for a new vehicle this Christmas, whether it's a Mercedes, Land Rover, Toyota, whatever brand you're looking for, EDH Motors get it for you. And you know what? You never have to step foot in a typical franchise dealership. Saves you money, saves you time. Hey, it's even fun. You can check out their inventory if you go to edhmotors.com. They've got a little bit of everything. They've got exotics, highline, classics, economy. And here's what you should never forget, all right? If they don't have what you're looking for, they'll go get it for you. Go see their beautiful auto lounge. It's in the El Dorado Hills Town Center. Go to edhmotors.com. That's edhmotors.com. And check out EDH Motors Automotive Reimagined. And again, always like it when I can do Grant's rant. And sometimes we get some really good ideas. Do you ever go to the Tampa Bay Lightning games? I've never been to a Lightning game. I have not. I've been to the Florida Panthers games, but yes. Am I familiar with Mitch Holthus, the radio voice of the Chiefs? Yes, I used to have him on my radio show often. He's a phenomenal announcer. Phenomenal. You know, Kevin Harlan was doing the games before him, before Kevin went network. Yeah, Mitch is great. Love Mitch. Great announcer. And I never said no when I needed him to come on my show. He was always really good about coming on my radio show. So, yeah, you know, touchdown Kansas City. Love Mitch Holthus. You know, he's great. Really good announcer. I think there are so many good local NFL announcers that Mitch is up there, though. Mitch is up there. I've always thought Mitch Holthus was great. Wayne Larrivee of the Packers is great. Been a big fan of his. Philadelphia, their legendary announcer, has been there forever. I mean, there are a lot of good local radio announcers in the NFL. There really are. So, you know, it's all subjective. It's dependent on what you like listening to. Do you like high energy? Do you more laid back? It just depends. Everyone's got their own style. I'm a high energy guy. I believe in energy on broadcast. I don't believe in laid back, mundane. It's just everyone's got a different style. That's why I don't think I would be very good at baseball, because I don't think my personality lends itself to a baseball game. Just too slow. I'm not a slow guy. I got to talk fast. I got to go with the energy. I've got to go with the speed of hockey, with the speed of basketball, football. I can't do baseball's too damn slow for me, you know? Okay, I have done a rant on this, and this is a great one. Grant, I'm not sure if you have done a rant on this before, but what is with all these NFL guys not wearing their mouthpiece anymore? These guys are going to keep their dentist in business. Here's the thing I don't understand. They have it on their helmet dangling down, and they never put the damn thing in their mouth. And I especially wide receivers, I can't imagine running down the field, having that damn thing dangling from your face mask and tell me that's not distracting. I don't get that. I don't understand it. I really don't. Same thing in college. Why have the damn thing on your helmet, on your face mask? And here's another thing I've never understood. I've never understood why so many baseball players wear chains around their neck. I mean, how do you do that? How do you do that? Like, how is that not distracting? How is that not a problem? You see the players all the time adjusting and putting it back in their uniform, running the bases, hitting it in their face. Like, why? Said when the Chiefs won in 2019, I was listening to him. That whole playoff journey was something. He is special for sure. He is special. He's great. They love him in Kansas City as they should. He's great. Yeah. That's a good text right there, because he is the real deal. Yeah, that's ridiculous. It is. It's just, I personally, I think there should be a rule: no jewelry on the field or on the court. That's what I think. You can't wear it in basketball for obvious reasons. Why do you have to wear your jewelry when you're in a Major League Baseball game or football? Why do you have to have studs in your ears? Why do you need to have chains around your neck? Like, what's that all about? I've never understood that. I really don't. I've never understood that. Peter says, did I see the Times Magazine Caitlin Clark Athlete of the Year 2024 helping or hurting the WNBA? I think it hurts it. I talked about this week, a couple of days ago, with Sean Salisbury. You can go back and check it out, because one of the last things I talked about during our segment with Sean was this Caitlin Clark story. And Sean had some very, very strong words about this. I think you should go back and watch it if you can on my YouTube channel right here. Just go back and check it out, Grant and Sean, this past Wednesday. Do I watch the UFC or MMA? I do not. I tried. I'm going to be very blunt with you. It's too violent for me. And I'm not a wrestling fan. I don't care for wrestling. But the sport to me is too violent. It just is. And I like fight. Listen, I've always been a boxing fan. I like a good hockey fight. It's just too violent for me. I don't like all the blood flying around everywhere. The other night I was flipping through the channels and I was watching a UFC fight for like 2 minutes with two women. And it was just, I'm going to use the term, it was disgusting to me. Like, I couldn't do it anymore. I had to turn it off. So it's not for me. And I understand it's widely popular and a lot of my friends love it. It's not for me. The hand-to-hand combat with your leg kicks and everything, it does not appeal to me. It just doesn't. And I've tried it. Listen, and I was friends with Uriah Faber, and I love Uriah. And I watched the UFC because of him. And he's such a great man. He's smart, and he was a great interview. And I used to love having him come down to the studio. I love Uriah. And it was because of him that I actually tried getting into the sport, but it's just not for me. It's not for me. But I understand the popularity of it. That's for sure. But it's not my cup of tea. Sunrise Landing, though, might be your cup of tea. The newest residential community in Calusa. You go to CalusaSunrise.com. You'll get all the information you need. Remember, This is a Blazona development project in Calusa, many models to choose from. And also keep in mind, there's no homeowners, there's no Mellorews. It's good location. I mean, it's adjacent to the Calusa Golf and Country Club. You also have good access to I-5, Highway 45, Highway 20. Check out Sunrise Landing by going to CalusaSunrise.com. That's CalusaSunrise.com. Love having these sessions with you. I don't like, we go 30 minutes or so, and it's perfect. We got the football weekend, got the Kings with a couple days off. Let me update you before we get off for tonight, the scores that are still going on in the NBA. 6:50 left in the fourth, 119-113. Phoenix in a high-scoring game against the Jazz in Salt Lake City. All right, 119-113. Spurs lead the Blazers 2 minutes gone by in the third, 57-52. Timberwolves beat the Lakers. Grizzlies beat the Nets. And the Nuggets clobber the Clippers 120-98. 120-98. So those are the updated scores. Kevin Durant, by the way, has played 29 minutes so far. So he's back. Have a great weekend, everybody. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to do this with your support. And we'll talk to you again soon. Stay safe, everyone. Enjoy your football this weekend. Bye-bye now.